but could rough them up in the corners and just was a great teammate. Hard to be just an incredible, just all-in guy, but then always thinking of everybody else on the team. He's one of my favorites, Mark. Learned a lot about leadership and really just enjoyed those bunch of years he was here with the Rangers.
I think we got a call coming in.
Okay, so this is a unique one. This is from Vipul Gupta. And he's actually a father. He has 2 kids. One is Ashika. It's his daughter who's 13 years old.
Can't hear you.
Hello?
I can't hear you. Go ahead.
So his daughter Ashika is 13 years old, and his son Zadant is 11 years old. And they're 2 aspiring entrepreneurs that have some questions
Cool.
for you.
We got kids that are entrepreneurs. Hello.
Yeah, hi Brandon, how are you?
How are you? What's your name and where you from?
So, we're from the Flint, Michigan area. My name is Vipul, V-I-P-U-L.
Vipul.
And I have a 11-year-old son in 6th grade. His name is Vedant. Say hi, Vedant. Hello.
Aren't you
And
supposed to
then
be
my
in
daughter,
school?
Ishika, she's 13 in 8th grade. Say hi.
Hi.
Wow, there's no lack of creativity in those names. So,
Yeah, Indian names. So,
okay,
you know,
all right,
they're
cool.
Indian.
Cool.
And, to give you some background, like I have a tourism marketing corporation, so over the last 15 years, I kind of started from scratch, and I've done a lot with sports teams, primarily regionally here in the Michigan area, so all the pro sports teams as well as national partners, everyone from Macy's to Disney to studios. And basically, my mom has been a travel agent, so I grew up as part of a tourism company, and I kind of combined the love of sports and marketing with that, and I formed a lot of creative promotions and worked with my airlines, hotels, and all. So through that, I developed a lot of skills in networking and proactively making calls and creating partnerships and creating promotions. And so now, being a parent, I've kind of passed this on to my kids that, who tells you you have to sit there and learn one subject 1 year at a time, and that you have to follow a certain rule of only being able to progress and not doing entrepreneurship till you're 20 or 30. Start when you're young, because there's a lot of amazing kids out there that start when they're 5 or 6. And so, Ishika and Vedant can tell you their backgrounds a little bit more, but they've both done some amazing things.
Well, let's hear it. Ishiga's in 8th grade, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So what are you up to? Talk to me. What's your story?
So basically last year in 7th grade, I was given the amazing opportunity to write a 30-page business plan and present it. And my idea was basically what my dad just said, to help kids get ahead. Because at school you're given a book and you have to go 1 year at a time. And I believe that kids should be exposed to the opportunity to have more materials, because there's not just one resource out there, there's many resources. So just to help motivate kids to their full potential and give them the resources that they need to get ahead.
Wow. So how does one get involved with this process? Are you online? Is there a website? How do you pick up these books?
It was just an idea that I had, but it was basically a course that they would follow about entrepreneurship courses and leadership.
Love that. Oh, so this is the concept you came up with, and you wrote a business plan about it, and it's probably a book that's probably good for kids anywhere from grades 1 to probably the end of high school almost, right?
Yeah, so I was given the opportunity to write it because I was put in a business class with 11th and 12th graders, an entrepreneurship class, when I was in 7th grade. So we basically had a virtual company where we had the CEO, the COO, and the CFO, and I interviewed to be one of the 3 executives, and I got the part of the CFO, so I oversaw the financials of the company, and I got to manage 11th and 12th graders. That was just an amazing opportunity.
I love that.
And actually, Brandon, she got that opportunity because of doing self-paced learning. So what she's done is a lot of online learning. So she's basically gotten 4 years ahead in math, because instead of doing like 1 year at a time, she's pretty much done 2 years at a time.
Yeah, I get
the
that.
last 3 years. And so
Why wait for everyone else?
They give her an opportunity to be an entrepreneurship class, and that's where she worked with 11th and 12th graders, and then wrote this amazing business plan on her own and presented it at a conference.
It's one of my son's biggest complaint, is sitting around waiting for everybody else to catch up to him. It's very frustrating for some of the people that are blessed to be a little bit smarter or just be able to catch on a little quicker. So I like that idea where kids can kind of move on their own pace and not make the other kids feel uncomfortable. I'm just curious, just one quick question. What did you learn about that CFO role? What was the one thing that stuck out in your mind as you took on that role in high school?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing is that you might think going into a company and being a CFO is easy because you're like seeing all the financials and you're just seeing all the work, but it's not. You're actually having to look over all of the numbers and having to crunch the numbers. And the biggest part, that's the hardest part, is managing the people in the company, because most of the time someone might come in and have a gloomy mood, and that'll set the whole company to a bad mood, and people will all be like sad and everything. So you have to know how to motivate them and put them in that happy mood.
All right. Well, thank you. Now, your brother?
Yeah. Hello?
How you doing? Now, what were you up to? It's Vidam? How do you pronounce your name?
Vedant.
Vidam?
Yeah.
What were you up to? Now, you're a little younger, I assume. You're at 6th grade, so that's kind of when it all got started for me, so I'm not giving you any bit of a break. I have high expectation for you. You should be already killing it, especially you have an older sister that seems like she's on the ball. Your dad's been a good example. Now, where are you at? What are you bringing to the table? How are you helping support that family?
I started this business idea when I was in 4th grade. So at that time, I was in India, and I was visiting my cousin.
Yeah.
And in his room, I saw this motivational poem. And when I read it, I said to myself, I need to go to my high school and read that. And the reason for that is because normally one kid in our high school, in our district, commits suicide. And I wanted to stop that. So I went to my high school, and I read this poem about not committing suicide, not having teen depression. And I knew this was going to work because going to high school, normally you would think that the high schoolers aren't going to listen to you because you're a little kid. But it's actually the complete opposite, because they view themselves as a role model to us. And if it's a teacher talking, it's another lecture, which they don't want to hear. And so the result of this poem was an English teacher writing back, saying that her whole class was in tears, and she was too. So I knew that effect had gotten out. And now my idea to, and I wonder if you can help me, is to try to have, my main idea is to start a nonprofit where kids who are younger in elementary school, middle school, go to their high schools and talk about motivational things, like not being racist, not doing bullying, environmentalist things.
Wow, I love that. That is so cool and so grown up and so important. Well, first of all, can you? I love to see the poem. So if you can put that, if you can send that to my Facebook page, I'd love to post it for you or share it. If you can do that.
Yeah, I can send you the whole video that I did.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to share that with everybody watching. I'm sure everybody would love to see that. That's very brave of you to and also a lot of insight to know that that's something that is necessary. We need a lot of help in our high schools. But I guess, the beautiful thing is that you have the means of communication right in front of you, which is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and really just asking people. I think sometimes what people forget in selling, and I know this sounds, I don't mean to make this like a sell, but it is in a way. It's something when you have something that's necessary and you're trying to get on people's mind, trying to get on people's page with an idea. It is about a sell. And I think what people forget is to ask. And I think it's important for you to ask through all the social media between you, your sister, and all your friends to say, hey, I think this is important. I'm 11 years old. It's important to me. I've shared this poem, and I want you to share this with other people and other high schools. And we want to make a movement that gets people really sensitive about teenage depression or about bullying or all the different things that teenagers are facing. And I think we all need to get on board. And I think this video that I did and this poem that I'm sharing really does and can make a difference. Ask, can you share it? And then, and then again, a lot of times people, they come out and support that fact that you are, listen, I think the best way to get the kids is I think kids can send kids messages. It's difficult. A lot of adults have lost I don't know why haven't caught on, but it's amazing how many companies are being run that are trying to market to kids, and the people doing the marketing are 50, 40, 50, 60 years old. I mean, what the hell do we know about marketing to kids? It's been like 40 years since I've been a kid. It's been 45 years since I was 12. I mean, how do I remember what that's?
Right there, Brandon, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to get these guys right now to be kid journalists and work with my own, like the travel companies I mentioned. They do so many things targeted to families, but they have no kid reporters. So, like, for example, Royal Caribbean, I've been trying to reach them and Carnival and some of these cruise lines. They have all, like Carnival especially has these Saturday morning shows they're producing right now, but yet they have no kid hosts. So they're having the adults, going to all these fascinating destinations and talking about cool things for families, but yet there's no kids. So I've tried to approach them a couple of times that, here's a couple ambitious kids, get some other kids involved. Let's get some kids to be actually able to speak at a kid's level. But it's hard sometimes to get society to understand that.
I think people are starting to catch on now, though. I think people are realizing that we got some real issues now with some of our teenagers that are different than issues we've had. We always have problems with our youth, with there being a gap between the younger ones and the older ones. I was a kid. There was a different set of problems, but I think that people are realizing some of these problems are escalating. Addiction being one of them, opioids another, bullying been going on been a hot topic the last few years. But let me ask you this question: when are you guys going to be in New York? Because I want to get you guys on this set in this office, and then maybe we could do some stuff where get you guys doing some journalistic stuff for Steiner. I mean, I'm really interested in really trying to find some kids to communicate some of our products. I mean, kids love our products, and a lot of our products, even at Steiner, are made and thought of for kids. But we need to get you guys up here and maybe get you right in this studio and do a session with you guys about what's really important, which is this poem, and what's and really trying to make a difference here with kids starting to care about each other and looking out for each other with depression and peer pressure, bullying, opioids, all those things. We'd love to get you up here in the studio if you're coming this way. And listen, I'll be the first to share your stuff. I'd love to go share that poem and that video and see if I can create a little bit of some traction for you. And I think the most important thing is...
Yeah, that would be great. We would love to go to New York and speak and advertise, because that's the kind of opportunities we love being exposed to. And also about what you were saying earlier about asking, this year we're taking a unique path, so we're doing not exactly homeschooling, but we're doing all of our classes online at home. So we're actually taking a Japanese class, because have you heard of the Japan whale hunt?
No.
It's where they kill whales in Japan for their meat.
Oh, yes. Of course I've heard of that. Yes. Wow.
Yeah, and we feel like that's not very nice, so we're taking Japanese to go in Japan and get the youth involved, because we believe they're the next generation, and they have a voice against what's happening, because they see their parents as fishermen and they don't really know what's happening. So we're trying to learn Japanese to go in Japan and educate them about what's actually happening.
I love that initiative too. I mean, I think it's important you pick a couple of these and I would try to stick with them and really try to get some traction and really try to create a movement. But, you have a voice out there, and it's a lot easier these days to get that voice out there. Communicate with me. Let me know what you want to do. I'm willing to share what you guys are up to. I love some of your initiatives, and if I can support these things in a bigger and better way, I will. I want you guys to keep up the good work. Love it.
Another thing is, we love sports. We could be a sports
Another
journalist.
thing? I mean, do you kids sleep? I love it. Go ahead. Give me one more. One more thing. You guys are unbelievable.
So we
Amazing.
run 10 miles before we do a lot of sports. And I've gotten third place for girls 13 and under. And we love, running and just taking on challenges. So we would love to be sports journalists for speaking about the stuff going on here.
I love it. Well, let's plan something for maybe the spring. Maybe you come up, see Steiner. We'll get you to a Yankee game, do a live session with you guys in here. Maybe do a couple things for Steiner, talk about some of the products that you like, and let you do a little journalism.
That's great. That's great. They'd love to. Any opportunities, man, they're all on board, because that's what exactly we want to do. And, we want to grow that for other kids, too, especially in the inner cities. We're in Flint, Michigan, and, Flint is an amazing city, but, obviously the water crisis and there's been violence here and so on. And, we need like opportunities to reach out to kids in these areas as well, and give them that confidence. I mean, that's the bigger thing. I always tell my kids, it's not about you guys, it's about what you do for other people and inspire them, because we've got so many kids who fall through the cracks, and if only we can reach them and they get these kind of opportunities, I mean, their full potential will be reached. So let's try to figure that out too, and my kids will be glad to work with you in any way.
Well, thank you. I love that you're pushing your kids at 10 and 11 and 12. I love it because I think you can. And I can see the enthusiasm and excitement in your kids' voices. I mean, it's beautiful. And I think that parents sometimes get a little bit nervous and a little bit tentative about pushing their kids. And why not? I mean, as long as it's with good intent and not too hard. But you can push your kids a little bit. It's okay. You'd be surprised how far kids these days can go and how far they can take things, how interested they can get into things if given the opportunity. And it doesn't take a lot of money either. Good for you, man. Great call. Thank you for the call. Please keep in touch. Please message me the information. I'll send you guys some books and some paraphernalia and some stuff. But also, let's talk about getting you up to New York. I'll get some tickets for you for a Yankee game and get you guys into the studio. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Brandon. Thank you so much. And I sent Jack a couple links so you can take a look at their background and links. We definitely look forward to staying in touch. Keep up your great work and inspiring everybody. Great job you're doing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you watching and listening. And we're loving it here and love what your kids are doing, man. Good for you. Good for you.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Sure, you too. Bye-bye.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they were awesome. I mean, I know if I was homeschooled, I mean, I know my free throw shooting percentage would be up. I'd be in the schoolyard playing ball, but I know I couldn't be disciplined enough. I mean, I don't know if that's for everybody, but those kids seem like they're on a track. I know I'm going to I'm probably going to have to save this tape because 10 years from now, one of those kids is going to be running for president of the United States or running for governor or running some company. There's no question. Those kids are on a track to success. And